the age of 49, I saw a flyer and I brought it home to my family for Thanksgiving. And the flyer said that they were recruiting for roller derby. Somebody said that I was past my prime and that maybe this was not the thing for me. So since I have never been one for like Tupperware or Mary Kay, it was going to be the roller derby. And that was 10 years ago.
I think the specific thing about roller derby is it's this coming together of people from all walks of life. Regardless of who you are, where you come from, socioeconomic background, we can execute these skills on any kind of level. That's one of the things that's actually pretty cool about the Misfits. For being a league that's kind of recreational and pickup, you know, a lot of them have jobs. The only time they skate is maybe the practices that we have, which is about 2 hours a week, and we'll come together and we'll be able to win games. How we like to coach is like we use body positioning and positional blocking and taking up space and communicating and really kind of making sure the team is gelling as a unit. We're building trust.
I like that everybody's really helpful and everybody's really comfortable, and I'm new, but I don't feel like I don't know anything, you know. They really, you know, help you to learn, and I like the pace so that I can learn without feeling like competitive, you know.
It's an adult sport. There are juniors teams, but it's mainly adult sports, so people get into it when they're older. Like, all the teams are super welcoming, like anybody can do it. You know, when you talk about lacrosse or some of the other like sports that like everyone does when they're a kid, they're like, well, if I didn't do it as a kid, I can't do it as an adult.
Almost nobody grows up playing it. It's not like soccer or softball or something. Pretty much everybody has to learn as an adult or close enough. So there's this like just really nice sense of camaraderie, and if you hated PE, that's okay. This is totally different from that.
You can spend time and seasons and years with one another, like gelling and getting together, but it has to come from everybody wanting that same goal. And I think that kind of goes across with athletics, but like with roller derby, there's like this idea that like you can have this insane game, and then after the game is over, you can all go out and like for drinks or hang out socially after and be like, oh my gosh, that was such a good game. Like, you killed me. Like, you literally destroyed me. I wanted to die. You took my soul and ate it, and I never want to play this game again. And then it's like, thank you for that. Thank you for like challenging me and playing in a way where it's like you rise to the occasion, where you're giving as much, you know, as I'm giving.
As a skater, like, I wasn't the most confident coming into it. They were so kind and patient with me and just like building my skills and allowing me time to grow as a skater. And now, you know, however many years it is later, I'm a coach myself, and I'm on the BOD and I help run the league, and it's, you know, there's just been a lot of like growth within this league, thankfully.
Maybe it starts with learning how to skate or learning how to get your balance, and then it can evolve into like, wow, I have this newfound confidence that I got from learning to roller skate, which kind of carries over in other things where it's like, you know, you go from being scared to being empowered, or feeling like stupid to cool, or, you know, it has this transformational power to it, and you can do it yourself. And I think that's what's really cool. You can take something that is perceived a certain way and kind of change it.
It's really safe for queer folk. Like, I don't feel uncomfortable at all as like a trans guy here. Like, I'm not the only trans person on the team, which is great.
I'm gonna put my roller skates on and be the person that I always am, but maybe a little bit more emboldened, maybe a little bit more confident, and utilizing the skill set that I have and applying it in this moment, doing it consistently for my teammates, and communicating with them and empowering them to kind of take the initiative to do it too.
There's not that many people that play, and every team is very open about what they do, and they're very vocal about how they're open. And so that's kind of like changed their dynamics a lot in terms of just like comfortability. Rather than having this like policy based off your identity, have a policy based off like how you behave.
Our society, even though we have a lot of sort of new ideas about gender, and we talk about non-binary, queer, trans, things like that. Ultimately, the mainstream, larger society is still fixated on a very patriarchal image of the role of men and women, and the idea that women should basically be quiet and be demure and, do what they're told. And people in roller derby are anything but that, right? And they're very expressive and loud and bombastic, and those things are considered negative characteristics for women.
It's very in your face. It's very something that you have to pay attention to. It's there. You can't look away from it, and even if you try to look, like you can't ignore what's happening. Traditionally, women in groups were considered dangerous, and they are.
They're not demure, they're not passive, they're very self-assured, they're aggressive, and this is not the normative definition that a lot of people have for women in our society. And also, I think that this notion that women are supposed to be very feminine is really transgressed by people who do roller derby.
You know, it's not this dainty, you know, carefully curated thing. It can be really raw, it can be really in your face, and it can be really, it's a lot of it is vulnerability. It's people putting themselves out there to be seen, doing this sport that is not conventional. It can be messy, it's loud, it's aggressive, it's violent at times, you know, and sometimes it doesn't kind of match this connotation of this subservient, docile creature that women are often portrayed to be, when it's like women can be dangerous, women can be aggressive, women can be violent. We can have all these positive and negative connotations, but also not be, you know, be feminine, be masculine, and that's okay. Embrace both sides of what you are, regardless of your gender, and that's awesome.
I mean, I think as a culture we tend to like violent sports, right? Football, hockey, and there aren't that many options for women to express that kind of aggression.
Like, oh, you go around and you get enjoyment out of this. Like, you really get enjoyment out of hitting people, and you're a masochist. And it's like, can I be athletic and enjoy the spirit of competition?
There are times when women need to be aggressive, and some of that is to protect ourselves from things like sexual assault or things like unwanted attention. And girls are brought up to just be quiet and take it. And roller derby is clearly a sport that allows women to learn how to respond quickly when they feel threatened physically, right? And to use that aggression to take care of themselves. It does teach women how they can sort of utilize each other to help each other when they feel threatened or when they're in uncomfortable situations.
I feel like women are often pitted against each other for competition, you know, and this is kind of flipping it on its head, where it's like, instead of pitting at each other for competition, we need to band together with this common goal and use our strengths together.
It is very inclusive, that people are welcome, that people of color are welcome, that queer people are welcome, that heterosexual, cisgender women are welcome, that even men are welcome. And I think that's what we want. We want to build coalitions in our society so that people who are different can celebrate those differences, but also can come together in ways that make them more powerful so that they can resist all of the political and social upheaval that we're experiencing now. And I can imagine that you know, you don't want to screw with the women of roller derby. And so that is something that's kind of hopeful to think about as we move forward.